Welcome back to Atletico Madrid TV. Does anyone actually watch this? Well, because it's Atletico Madrid TV and we're speaking English. Apparently they do. Welcome back to Atletico Madrid TV, where I bring you the shock news that manager Jordi Gil has today resigned. The Derby-born Spaniard was undefeated in La Liga this season, but has stepped down from the position due to personal reasons. He stated in an interview just after the announcement, "I'm struggling to adapt to the culture. I mean, they don't do pies here in Madrid. Paella's a thing, but it's just not the same. To be honest, I thought paella was just a fancy word for pie. A bit like the Norwegians. They call it pie, but spell it P-A-I. Bloody crazy, those Vikings, eh?" Riveting stuff. I can also confirm that assistant manager Dwight Hopman has also left the club with immediate effect. We spoke to some of the players to get their reaction on the shock announcement.
Oh, I am glad to see the back of him. What a tosser. Kept shouting at me. Martin, play more like Chris Martin. I mean, what the fuck is a Chris Martin?
He's a Derby fan, right? He must have been shagging someone's missus. Or at least trying to. Hashtag the Derby way.
Bastard was just trying to shag my wife.
Told ya.
My back hurts. He kept making me do red training so I could carry the team.
Honestly, never seen a manager be carried by a single player more than him. Or maybe Guardiola. Messi gave that cue ball bastard a career.
Oh, that young Pardew. Man, he spent all day in his office jerking his gherkin to Will Hughes compilations. If I ever see him again, he can catch me outside. How about that?
Tell you what, I'll miss Dwight here though. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Bright future ahead of him. Bright future ahead of him.
Notts County have today appointed 20-year-old Dwight Hopman as the club's new manager. The young Dutchman comes in with very little first-team managerial experience, having only briefly been an assistant to Jordi Gil at Atletico Madrid. Hopman is the Magpies' 6th manager in less than 3 years. Paul Merson and Phil Thompson have both lambasted the appointment, questioning,
"What's he know about the Premier League? What is it?"
You know, I always find the intro video the hardest part to do because you've got to like pump yourself up, but yet at the same time not cringe everyone out. Like I remember when I used to go, "Hello, people of the internet." Well, it's like, that's just dumb. It's obvious. Of course, you're on the internet. It does make sense, but it's dumb and obvious. So, I mean, then I go, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen," and I try and pump myself up the same way like Nerd Cube did with his Hello Procrastinators, but I just feel like I need a good intro, you know. I mean, Loki Doki's got greetings and salutations, and it's not a good Loki Doki impression. You can find better elsewhere, probably. Yeah, I don't really know. Hi, I guess. But welcome to the county comeback. This is a save, obviously, with Nottingham County. Actually, they hate being called Nottingham County. No, never call Notts County Nottingham County. Same way, don't call Forest Notts Forest. They just don't like it. Or if you want to piss off a Forest fan, call them Notts Forest. They love it. So why Notts County then? Well, I live in Nottingham. Don't stalk. Just a quick, and this needs to be put in bold at the bottom of the screen. Do not stalk me. I will get a restraining order. But yeah, I've been to a couple of county games with my friend Gareth, good guy. And like I go every now and again. I haven't been in a while, to be brutally honest. And you know, they're a good club, and they're obviously the oldest football league club, and yet we're wallowing in League Two. And I thought it is time for them to have a resurgence. Let's get them back where they belong. Everyone loves a good story when a team becomes the biggest in their city. Let's go overtake Nottingham Forest. And it's a big, actually guys, Nottingham is a city of football as well, just to point that out somehow. Big ground, 20,000 capacity at Meadow Lane. We've got pretty okay facilities. Obviously the ground itself is pretty good. New owners in Alan Hardy has taken over the club, so that is interesting. And they're just what I want to do. I like managing in England. It's what I'm best at, and it allows me just to progress up the league, and we go on a journey together and enjoy the beauty of using players like Alan Smith, for example. Look at him with his beautiful quiff and gormless look. Stunning. But you will notice, of course, I'm not actually manager. I'm a has-been. I've gone. I tried to go to Spain and disguise myself as Jordi Gil. I left because they didn't do pies. And now, ironically, I'm sort of commentating on the Magpies. So it's almost as if Jordan recognised that and appreciated a little bit of a pun. But it's not really a pun. It's just sort of a similarity in the names. But yes, it is the county comeback, and it is Dwight Hopman's single return. It's solo management for him, I suppose. And I've done what I think would be Dwight Hopman. I based his past playing to his international footballer because he was in our Derby save. If you haven't been to that, it kind of doesn't make sense who Dwight Hopman is. He was a region I had. He was fantastic, and I really like the idea of just continuing that story along. It just allows us to progress the narrative. Not in a stat app style of way. So what I did to counteract that, because I thought it'd make my stats a little bit too good for this level, it suggested that I had a Continental B license. I actually set that to a National A license, I believe. In fact, we can actually check what I set it on somewhere.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Oh my god, I actually don't know where it is. History. Why would it be in history? I haven't promised. Home. No, profile. It's got to be on here somewhere. Why can't you tell me how good of a Oh, Continental C license. So there you go. I went down to a C license. Set as I thought Dwight Hopman would be. He was quite determined in his time. He was a good attacking coach. But I wanted the motivation as well, so we can do good team talks. But yeah, so all the other stuff though, we will sort of sort out. Like backroom staff will help me. He's not great. Doesn't look anything like Dwight Hopman. I mean, the face kind of does, because I used the 3D model, and it's like it looks like Dwight Hopman if he was anorexic. If you know what I mean. Here's a side-by-side comparison. He's just. I don't know what, he's lost a lot of weight. Fair play to him, you know. It's a tough thing to do. And he's 20, actually. His metabolism is probably fucking fantastic. I actually tried to put his actual face in, and then I realised you can't do that. You can't actually replace your own manager's face with an imported photo. Which, why? Why have you done that, football? Why? Miles, why? I mean, I know you're proud of your 3D engine, but why? I'm not really dressed for Notts County. I'm in a Derby shirt, for Christ's sake. I'm supporting the wrong team, so I'm going to be a trendsetter and wear a scarf in a video. I could do that and be all posh and proper, but I look too much like I would belong at Hogwarts. This is really weird. There we go. That will do. That's kind of like. It doesn't cover the badge now, idiot. This is just faff. This is the part of the video where we just faff about, isn't it? Look, let's just take the headphones off. That would just make things easier, wouldn't it? It just doesn't. What is going on here? So you'll notice we're on the tactics screen, and it's called the Miller's 4-3-3. Only reason I've used that system, which is a system I was using in an offline game, is because it allowed me just to carry my set pieces over quicker, and I couldn't be asked to, because I don't think I had them saved, except for as part of this tactic. So it's obviously, as you can see, not a 4-3-3. I'm gonna play a 4-4-2. 4-4-2. I've noticed that we are in desperate need of a centre-back and a striker. John Stead is decent, and in real life they've got Shola Amiobian, who maybe not fits the role I'm looking for. But we've got a decent team, but it is quite aging. We'll quickly look through a couple of our key players, though, and we'll assess the squad so you can get as familiar as I am. So sorting it about ability, also I've got a custom squad view, which is mainly based off of Foxy's squad view from last year, so credit to him, I suppose. As we look at all the players who are 4-star and above, they are all above, you know, well, they're getting towards their sort of prime, and maybe sort of, and a couple, the twilight of their career. Goalkeeper Adam Collin, that's fine. He's actually a very good goalkeeper, formerly of Rotherham, I do believe. 71 games for them. Experienced League One keeper, a little bit of Championship experience. Generally, just a very good player, though. 6'5", massive, going to be tough to beat. Great goalkeeper to have. Michael O'Connor is technically, I think, our highest valued player at 240. He's a good ball winner, and that's probably where he'll play. He can pass the ball as well, which is very pleasing if you want to go for a passing system. But can do a little bit of everything. Quite well rounded for the midfield, dictates the tempo, which is a nice stat to have. And Jonathan Forte is another one. Is this the former Southampton guy? Yes, it is. Oh dear. He's actually former Notts County, and that I did not remember. In fact, he went on loan twice and actually had some pretty prolific loan spells, to be fair. 8 in 18 and 5 in 10. If he could recreate that form, I'll be pleased. Can play up front, gives us that poacher option because he's got a fair bit about him in the pace department. I think he's better on the wing, though. I think his stats are more suited to the wing. He's not the most technically brilliant. In fact, I'd say he's probably technically a lower League 2 player, but his pace is just fantastic. And look at that smile. Who can say no to that smile? He just brightens up your day. I mean, I'm smiling I'm smiling back at him. It's like, just a lovely face to have around the place, isn't it? And that's a rhyme that one true nerd would enjoy. Mark Yates is actually a very good winger. He can play on the right foot. Little bit old, so his pace is going to be declining, but a decent player who's come in. I haven't signed him. He's just came into Notts County this season. They've had a lot of change, Notts County, over the years. Going back to, I think, when the squad that I remember was under Sean Derry. That's obviously a few managers back. And they had players like Jack Grealish was on loan, Callum McGregor. This was back when they did the Great Escape in League One, which was fantastic, by the way. And they had fucking Enoch Shawumley, didn't play that much. Manny Smith. What was the name? Alan Sheehan. Yeah, it was Alan Sheehan. I mean, this doesn't look right. It was Alan Sheehan. Who would have thunk it? So that's not the Alan Sheehan I had a beard and short hair. That looks like he's in a boy band, to be brutally honest. But yeah, a lot of different managers. It's a bit of a jumbled up team, but they have got some good players. I mean, promising loanee George Grant on loan from Forest, which is a really weird one because you'd think Forest and County rivals, but they're kind of just like brothers. They're kind of like little sister club, and Notts County, to be honest. They don't really have a massive rivalry, so we can actually utilise that, and I think they might even be affiliate. Arnold and Boston. Well, I mean, that's going to have to change. Adam Campbell is here. I thought I had better potential than this. Maybe I was thinking of Adam Armstrong. Thinking about it. That's a shame. That's a shame. I feel like with a scarf like this as well, I get to critique players quite well. I feel like I can pull off the evil triangle hands and be like, yes, Hayden. Well, you're shit, aren't you? Yeah, boss, I know. Yeah. So we will need to dip into the transfer market, and as you can see, I've even been looking for some players, and I was going to see if we could maybe get a little non-league story in with someone like Andre Johnson. Maybe we'd give him a scout, and maybe, who knows, next Jamie Vardy, you never know. Yeah, you can see the problem. We don't have a scout. Maybe the chairman maybe just wants us to go, he's having a good season. 50 grand. I mean, I'm assuming League 2 clubs don't spend that much. I was going to say like 10 million, but that's what Derby would do, because Derby are idiots. They're just idiots. Nick Blackman. So just quickly looking at the competitions then, we're expected to reach the playoffs, which I think is a fair aim. We need to be trying to get back into League 1 as soon as possible. And it's going to be a bit of an ask, though, because if we look at our season preview, we are predicted to finish 9th. We are 19-2 to win the title. Who does it say are our key players? It's just going to tell me Adam Collin. Anyone else? Adam Collin and Mark Yates, which we've already mentioned. They're highest rated. But, oh my God, Paul's have Owen Doyle in League 2. When did this happen? Oh, this isn't fair. Owen Doyle would be amazing in my... Oh, fuck. Fair play. But fuck. Bit of busy few weeks for the Hopmeister. His first month in charge of Notts County's gone reasonably well. We've sold some players, bought some players, loaned in a lot of players, and got a parent club. And that's about it. So we have now agreed a partnership with Arsenal. I was very surprised that we actually could get a club, because normally on FM when I start and ask for a parent club, they're like, oh, we couldn't find anyone. Sorry. Mr. Chairman, could I have a could we get one of the bigger clubs to give us players? No, shithead, go fuck yourself. Please. Alright, shithead, but you're still a turd. And I'm like, I don't care, I'm a turd who now can get players for free. And that's all I care about. I'm now a turd who can get players for free. Feel free to put that on a t-shirt. Or there was one out, Thierry Ordell, who was in the club, not really that good, didn't really need him. He's gone on to Sutton, so clearly been watching the FA Cup, bought into the hype train, so fair play to him. I mean, if he wants to play on a plastic pitch, who am I to argue? But our first loan signing is American striker Andrija Novakovic. Great name. I hope he does well, just so I get to shout, Novakovic! Because it's better than shouting, Stead. John Stead. Another guy with a good name, Bright Enabakare, on loan from Wolves. He's got a lot of pace. Well, not a lot of pace, but he's a physical player. We needed a poacher. A poacher, really, the role, you just don't really need that much technicals or mentals. So I do feel weird with the scarf. I'm very self-conscious. I keep looking in the camera just to be like, oh my god, I look ridiculous. Another loan is Ben Winter, joins on loan from Crystal Palace. Has got the makings of a very good centre-back. He's got the shell of a good centre-back. Can tackle, can mark, can head the ball. Is pretty strong, pretty quick. Just his decision-making and sort of all his technicals just hasn't quite got that experience in the game yet. He's raw but good, and if we can get him tutored by someone who's a bit more technically stout, maybe someone like a player we brought in actually could be a great tutor for him, I think he'll be alright. Logically, it makes sense to go talk about that potential tutor. Xander Diamond joins from Northampton Town. We brought him in for 27k, only like 5k up front, the rest over 4 years, and he's a pretty decent centre-back, has experience at this level. Good mentals, decent technicals, physicals declining. He's 31, we can get a good year or two out of him, I think. The player we did get on loan from Arsenal, I think is probably our best addition, is Ben Sheaf. I'm going to call him Sheaf. If someone knows how to say that properly, please let me know. But he's a very solid player, very well-rounded, can do honestly everything, good box-to-box. But like we could play him in a number of different roles, as you can see by the little wagon wheels that are over there. Oh, I love a wagon wheel. Advanced playmaker, can do it. Ball winner, can do it. Not as much as I'd like, because marking's a little bit weak, but just a little bit of everything. And finally, the big money signing. We brought in Harrison Dunk from Cambridge. That's not Col. There's not. No, that right there isn't Colchester. Like I was going to say, that's came Sean Derry. What a man. But Harrison Dunk comes in, very, very decent winger for this level. Got the key stats that I look for, crossing technique and a little bit of pace about him. Decent mentals as well, which I wasn't expecting. Just generally quite a solid little player to bring in. 220k he's cost. Again, a lot of that is in instalments, so it's only like 50k up front. Only cost like 80k from the transfer budget. So I'm happy to bring him in. Could be a good option because it allows us to put Jonathan Forte a little bit more forward if we need to, and play him on the left side. Can cover at left back if necessary. So just a nice little option to have, really. And that concludes our ins. Staff, actually. Bollocks. Yeah, there's a lot of these, so prepare. Brought in Terry Pashley as a coach, and he's got a massive... He's either missing a tooth, or he's got a massive gap between his teeth. Honestly, he could go down the end of the cop side at Meadow Lane, open his mouth, and you could use his teeth as a goalpost. I tell you, I kid you not. Pat Holland comes in as a very good scout. Actually, he'd be good at no matter what he did. If he was a coach, he'd be pretty goddamn decent, but... He joins as a scout. We just didn't have any scouts, so I could bring in probably one of the best we could have gotten. So fucking words. Wow, that was, my brain just melted. Bit more adaptability in terms of like he knows a little bit of Northern Ireland, bit of Ireland, so just allows us maybe to get someone in from the Irish League. And then also we brought in George Rooney as a chief scout. He was probably one of the best ones. And frankly, I just like his glasses, to be honest. I just think he just looks like a granddad, doesn't he? Look, Granddad George. It just makes sense, doesn't it? And finally, we will run down our pre-season results. We beat our under-23s. Surprise, surprise. We had a 1-1 draw with Sean Goater's Ilkeston. Mark Bowler getting on goal for us. That was, it was trying to get used to the system we're playing. We beat Boston with it, which was very nice. Bright Enabakare getting the goals, as well as Mark Bowler from left back, which is... Maybe we've got a goal-scoring option that we didn't really expect. And a 1-1 draw with Wimbledon, which is actually quite impressive. Away at the Kings Meadow. Dominic Polian got one. We left it late, but actually we did play quite well in this game. 22 shots, 57% possession. We've limited Wimbledon well, so I'm actually quite impressed with what we were able to do. So happy with that. And somehow we went toe-to-toe with Championship Burton. And when I say we went toe-to-toe, again, we'll show you the stats. There's not much in that. We didn't have many shots on target, admittedly. But it was a game. It was certainly a match of the two teams. And then we beat local team Arnold 2-0. Although it might just be a bloke called Arnold who was just fancy to kick around with Notts County. And we went, alright. We stuck him in goal. We only scored twice in 90 minutes against some randy bloke called Arnold. Crazy. So here we are then. Our first game in charge of Notts County. Dwight Hopman's first solo managerial game. And it is one that I really don't know what to make of it. But they are Scott Loach, Richard Duffy, Elliot Hewitt, Alan Smith, Graham Burke, I believe, Jonathan Forte, and Adam Campbell. But in goal for us today in our 4-4-2, which we're testing out. I'm not a 4-4-2 fan personally, but we'll see how it goes. Adam Collin with a back line of Tutul, Ben Winter, Xander Diamond, and Cole Dickinson. Yates is on the right. O'Connor and Grant are in the middle. Harrison Dunk is on the left. And the two new strikers in on loan, Andrea Novakovic and Bright Enabakare, are up front together. They have a bench of Madison, Smith, Lawless, Tom Eves, I believe that is, Bassett, James and Omar Shawumni. Not Enoch Shawumni, who I'm tempted to bring back because Enoch Shawumni's got a massive cock. Chrisiak, Shepherd, Rodon, Mugabe, Dixon, Dolan, Dawson, Butcher, and a front three of Hedges, Khan, and Jones. Encourage the team. I think we should be passionate. Come on, lads, show me what you can do. And then just tell them I have faith, because that's the only way to salvage any team talking Football Manager for the past, 5 years. Told you. Right, there we go. Stats on the left. I don't know why I've got my formation. I just think it looks nice having both. So we've got the oval system in case they change mid-game. And then we've got how well the two teams play when it's between highlights. But could we have a chance from kickoff here? Tootle has done well and has won a corner very early on. The Dwight Hopman reign is starting brightly. If you're wondering why Dwight Hopman hasn't got his own special ass man in yet, as I adjust the scarf, it's because, well, frankly, the one I had just didn't want to get sacked. Novakovic is down the wing, puts a ball in, and it's post. Oh, he hit the post. Bright Enabakare. Maybe should have done a little bit better there. Maybe that's his lack of composure. But so the first half comes to an end. It's been a little bit boring, but we've had the best chance of the game, and we look okay. We're not great. We're not awful. We're on the counter attack as well, I should point out, just so we can sort of spring on them. I didn't actually talk through my instruction. I want to play on a higher tempo. Do try and hit them with pace on the break. More direct. I do want us to be disciplined, though. I want us just to defensively not rush anyone out. I want us to not... I don't want us to just be reckless and headless chickens. I want us to assess the situation and calmly dispossess the opposition. But to do that, we must get stuck in, because I've noticed that a good way to win, if you're not very good at football, is just to foul a lot. It works for Mick McCarthy, so why can't it work for me? I just feel like we should let the team just go and just tell them, don't be idiots, but, feel free to pick up a yellow card or two. Just tell the boys we're unlucky. The strikers are loving it. Midfield, not so much, but again, we'll just do the faith. It seems to work quite well. And Bakari not playing well. I think that's a little bit harsh, because he seems to have got into some good positions. So let's just see. They've switched narrow, actually, which I find quite interesting. So maybe we could attack if we doubled up on the wings. Let's try it. Let's be a little bit more adventurous, actually. I mean, we're 2 minutes into the second half. Apparently, I don't know how to play Football Manager, which is interesting. I've been playing it for years now. Let's put our fullbacks on attack. Let's allow them to roam forward a little bit. And I'm even going to give... Let's let Yates go forward a little bit. Let's focus a little bit on the wings, and see if that has an impact, because they have now gone narrow. Let's go for the game. Let's get a win. And they have a corner. This is a bloody worry.
Destination fact.
There's no one. You can't get offside from a corner because he's fucking stood on the line. But Tom Eves, substitute, gives Yeovil the lead. So Dolan puts the ball in then. It's hit long. I mean, Eves just leaps a little bit higher, doesn't he? I was trying to claim maybe Mugabe could have, fouled someone in there, but he was just being a bit of a pest, really. Right, we're gonna bring on Jonathan Fort. He's had a decent pre-season, and Vakari not had a great game, judging by his rating. So just a like-for-like change. Although we maybe need to go for a little bit more than that, given that we've been actually quite piss poor. But let's see what happens from this highlight and judge afterwards. Novakovic has done... Well, he's done that, which wasn't very good, was it, when you think about it? I mean, he just sort of pumped it. However, Xander Diamond... Oh, my God.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I mean, can we not hit the post twice in this fucking game? It's just one of those games where it's like, you're not going to have a shot on target, you're going to hit the fucking post, you're going to hit the bar, you're going to have a bloody... Oh. Okay, well, we've got to go overload. I just can't fucking believe our luck in this game. It's just been so out there. Well, let's pump it to Novakovic and see if he can make something of it. We'll whip it in as well and see if we can utilise that pace we've got up front with Forte if the ball does end up going into the box, which I'm going to doubt, given that we've not got any time. Well, at least we had a shot on target. And however, we have got a corner. It was a corner from where we conceded. Could we score? I mean, obviously not now. Maybe on the counter if we win the ball. We're going to go 2-0 down, aren't we? Yeah, I can see it now already. Too easy. Side netting. All right, well, that's the risk of playing over. We have made Yeovil look like Barcelona. They've played almost 500 passes. Well, it's not exactly the dream start, is it? In terms of the saviour cometh in Dwight Hopman, that's... Well, to be honest, they ripped the pages out of that book and used it as toilet paper. Which is, frankly, just rude, unsophisticated, and unelegant. Is unelegant even a word? It's not very eloquent, maybe. Bloody bastards, these Yeovil bastards. Well, they're just bastards, aren't they? I mean, let's assess. We weren't very good.
That's right, don't give a no. Owner of the Dimdale give a no. That's right, don't give a no. Owner of the Dimdale give a no.